It is up, everyone. This is Captain Eon speaking, and I'm going to be sharing from chapter 10, verses 36 to 37. Really 31 to 37. But I'm taking my title of the share, which I call Hello Neighborly, from verses 36 to 37. I was just listening to a cassette tape of which contained a message from someone I knew for quite a while. They have since gone on to the next life. But I realized that he had something in common with someone else a bit more familiar with the masses. And this familiar thing is the fact that he referred to others a lot as neighbor. And while I've been called a neighbor and I've used the term, today I ponder the question of what it is to be a good neighbor. Now, as soon as I said that, I hear the jingle in my head. So I'm not talking about, in terms of being a good neighbor, a State Farm agent. Neither am I talking about someone who simply lives next door to you. I'm not sure if you can, and what's the word that just slipped me? If you can relate to the fact that I have experienced poor neighbors, as well as I have been a poor neighbor. But with that said, a neighbor, based on what God is telling me today, is one who responds with compassion. Every one of the three that were mentioned saw the man that was beaten, but only one of them responded with compassion. I also realized for the first time today that yes, the Samaritan, left him at the inn, it's called, and, had everything paid for so he could recover. But what I did not realize before tonight was the fact that here God tells me that he actually spent the first night with him, because it was in the morning. The next day is when he took out another 2 days' wages and gave it to the innkeeper and said, hey, he'd cover his tab. And this was something interesting with me, or that I found very interesting, because of the fact that usually when someone is in a critical condition, you always hear about that first night being one of the most important on whether or not the person will pull through or not. And this just showed me that not only does a neighbor act in compassion, but a neighbor is there in most crucial moments, the critical moments. So ultimately, as I hear what God is describing as the prototype of a neighbor, I basically just hear him referencing himself. So the answer then on what does it take to be a good neighbor, I would answer that with being like Jesus. Caption this. Being a citizen of heaven got me feeling all neighborly.